Good evening, all you sports loving fanatics. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a very great weekend of sport this weekend. I'm coming to you from a sweltering Johannesburg. This weekend was extremely hot here in Johannesburg, 35-degree temperatures. Even this evening, as I'm coming to you, it's very warm, probably 25 degrees at around about 9 o'clock. So it's been a very warm weekend. Also, a very hot weekend on the sporting front. As you can see with the shirt I'm wearing, I'm a proud Liverpool supporter, and I don't think this weekend could have gone better for Liverpool. Liverpool being down 1-0 against Brighton for 58 minutes of that game, then coming back with 2 goals in 3 minutes. Cody Gakpo has been brilliant this season, and Mohamed Salah with the absolute cracker to make it 2-1 and getting a very, very vital 3 points at Anfield against a good Brighton team. If you look at the other results on the weekend, some shock results. Manchester City going down 2-1 against Bournemouth, and Arsenal going down 1-0 against Newcastle. So those results, those are the two main title protagonists dropping points. So Liverpool 2 points clear. Arsenal, on the other hand, slipped 7 points behind Liverpool. So hasn't been a great start for Arsenal. Results not going their way. I think Martin Odegaard's injury, a couple of injuries and suspensions have cost them. And you look at the depth of the squad, and maybe they're lacking in certain departments. I think Odegaard is vital to Arsenal at the moment, and Rodri vital to Manchester City. But Manchester City have got embarrassment of riches at the club, and they have players on the bench and young players coming through. But Rodri, Ballon d'Or winner, he's vital to them, and also Kevin De Bruyne. So those players missing, I think, are costing them as well. Going back to the Ballon d'Or ceremony, I think it was absolutely shocking sportsmanship from Real Madrid to boycott the Ballon d'Or ceremony just on the eve where the information was leaked that Rodri was going to win the Ballon d'Or. I think it was really bad sportsmanship on their behalf for them boycotting the ceremony. Childish behavior, in my opinion. Vinny Jr., great player, yes, but come on, go and applaud your colleagues. If you don't win it, at least show up and show some sportsmanship and applaud your colleagues. In rugby, this doesn't happen. Guys bruise each other, guys fly into tackles, guys basically half kill each other during 80 minutes of rugby. But after the game, you look your opponent in the eye and you shake each other's hand and you go over and have a beer in the bar after the game. That's what sportsmanship is. That's a brotherhood. But in European football, I don't think this brotherhood is there. I think there's a lot of ego and a lot of money that these players earn that interferes with friendships and brotherhood on and off the field. Rugby is a total different ball game when it comes to this. The sportsmanship, everything is there in rugby. There's a brotherhood there, and I think football can look at rugby for the sportsmanship aspect. And I just found it was very, very unsportsmanship from Real Madrid not to attend their Ballon d'Or ceremony. And in my opinion, Rodri deserved the Ballon d'Or. He is a defensive midfield player. He breaks everything up in games. He links play. He's a vital, vital player to any team. And I think there's a bias towards attacking players in the Ballon d'Or. If you're not a striker or attacking player and don't score goals, you don't win the Ballon d'Or. So in my opinion, Rodri was a well-deserved winner. And, he deserved it in my opinion. And those that wanted Vinny to win, tough luck. Vinny, great player, but to me, the attitude of these players, it just doesn't make sense to me. You're earning so much money playing football. At least show some dignity and applaud your colleague for winning an award. It just wasn't good behavior according to in my opinion, of what Real Madrid did there. Yeah, if we're looking at the rugby front, England and New Zealand at Twickenham was a wonderful test match, bruising test match. New Zealand coming up trumps 24-22, a very tight game. I feel New Zealand were a bit lucky to win this one. George Ford coming on for Marcus Smith, who was very good for England. George Smith missing a vital kick at the end, as well as a drop goal. Got to feel sorry for him, but those two kicks did cost England the game. New Zealand were good, but England, I think, may just have deserved to win this game. New Zealand coming up a good win at Twickenham, 24-22, but England were in the game for most of the game. They went toe to toe with New Zealand, and Twickenham is never an easy place to go to. The Springboks, obviously now we are in the UK now, getting ready for our first match next week Saturday against Scotland at Murrayfield. Going to be a fantastic game. Scotland, no pushovers. Murrayfield, conditions are going to be very, very important as to how we're going to set up for this game. Look, the Springboks have come in with a very, very strong squad, experienced squad. Russie's taken no chances on this tour. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of injuries to Frans Malherbe getting injured, Damien Willemse getting injured. So we brought in some replacements. Jaden Hendrickse coming in at fly half. It's a fly half cover, and we've had Cameron Hanekom, who's a very exciting eighth man from the Bulls, coming into the squad, and I think he may make his debut somewhere on this UK tour. He's a very dynamic eighth man, very good player. It's going to be a very interesting 3 tests in the UK. Scotland at Murrayfield, England obviously Twickenham, and Wales to the Millennium Stadium. Going to be very interesting for the Springboks. I believe we can go 3 out of 3. We've got the squad to do it. It's just conditions that how the conditions will be. If it's going to be wet, if it's going to be difficult to run the ball. But with us playing in the URC, I feel that our teams have gotten used to the wet conditions, and we are more adept to playing in Europe now. A lot of players playing in the English Premiership, a lot of players playing in France. We're used to these conditions, and Rassie's men will be formidable again. I don't think the European teams are quite at our level. New Zealand showed that against England, even though it's going to be a tough test against England when we do play them. Just got to take it step by step. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting tour, but I think we can go 3 from 3 on this one. I think Twickenham, England, the second test is going to be the toughest. Scotland, they've got some good players. They're not going to be a pushover this weekend. Looking very forward to this rugby coming up in the UK. It's going to be excellent viewing. Nice to watch the Springboks again. It's been a couple of weeks since we've last had a test match. Going to be good to pull on that green and gold jersey again and support the boys. Yeah, on the cricket front, we had a good test series win against Bangladesh. Good win by the Proteas in Bangladesh. There's some nice performances there. We've had maiden hundreds from 3 players: Tony de Zorzi, Tristan Stubbs getting 100, Vian Mulder getting 100, as well as a 5-wicket haul. Kagiso Rabada getting his 300th test wicket in Bangladesh. So that was a great series win there away from home. Was positive from the Proteas there. I see now we've got India coming here for some T20 games here in South Africa. Going to be a very interesting series that we picked a strong team. Nice to see if we can beat India here in South Africa. In the series, India always a formidable opponent with the embarrassment of riches they have in their system, especially in T20 cricket with the IPL. So they've got a conveyor belt of talent coming through. It'll be interesting to see how the Proteas go in the series. Going to be a great series to watch, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be some interesting sport in November. The rugby, we've got the 3 tests. We've got the cricket coming up against India, the T20 series. Obviously, we've got English Premier League football. It's going to come to the busy time of the season coming into December, obviously the Christmas period. It's going to be an interesting league this season. It's going to be an interesting title challenge. Liverpool, I'll be honest, looking very good under Arne Slot. They haven't put a foot wrong under Arne Slot. He's done a great job. Manchester City won't go away, that's for sure. But I just don't know if they're going to have that extra firepower this season. Arsenal, So I think they'll still be there, but it's a bit of a worrying start to the season. Tottenham got a good win today against Aston Villa 4-1. That was a good result for Spurs. Manchester United, before I forget, Manchester United, obviously Eric Ten Hag getting sacked this week with the appointment of Ruben Amorim, Sporting Lisbon manager. He's done a great job exporting. He was very good in the transfer market at Sporting, bringing in players for little transfer fees and making them into stars. Players like Bruno Fernandes came from there. There's a striker that he's bought, Victor Gyökeres, who's scoring goals. He's brought in through a number of Ugarte that Manchester United signed was his player. So he's brought in a number of players that have gone on to bigger clubs, and he's bought them for minimal transfer fees. And some clubs wouldn't have looked at these players. So he has a good eye for a player. He's a good tactician, and I believe he's a good man manager. So, in my opinion, I think he's going to do well for Manchester United. I think he's a good choice. There was rumors linking him to Liverpool before Jurgen Klopp left. He was actually one of the favourites to join Liverpool, and then there were talks that he was talking to West Ham, and talks broke down. And I think Liverpool couldn't come to terms with him, or Liverpool had their eye on Slot. That's why they turned their interest to Slot, and that's why Amorim went back to Sporting. But I think it's a good appointment for Manchester United. They got a 1-1 draw at Chelsea today. Not a bad result away from home. Ruud van Nistelrooy in charge of the team at the moment until Ruben Amorim is appointed, I think, on the 11th of November. Be interesting to see what happens to Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's the assistant manager, but Amorim is bringing in his own technical team. We'll see if there's still space for Ruud van Nistelrooy when Ruben Amorim comes in. He's a sort of club legend at United, so I don't think they'll just brush him away. I think he's still got 2 years on his contract, so I think he'll still stay at the club. So it's interesting times for Manchester United as well. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Ruben Amorim fits in. He's not walking into a easy job. I mean, United sitting sort of 13th in the Premier League, struggling to score goals. There's a lot of problems at the club, and it's not a easy job to be walking in. It's a high pressure job, but in my opinion, I think he's a shrewd manager, and I think he'll do quite well at United. I think it'll take him a bit of time, but I think he'll sort of get them going, working, playing well. I think Bruno Fernandes knows him well from Portugal, and a couple of players know him and respect him. So I think he's a good appointment. Yeah. So guys, interesting weekend of sport. Always keeps us riveted to our screens. There's also some big horse racing coming up in Gauteng this month. This month we saw the running. Yesterday we saw the running of the Charity Mile, a 1600-meter race, which was won by Winchester Mansion, who is an ex-July winner. Coming to win at very long odds at Turfentine yesterday. I think he paid 44 Rand for a win. But he was a top horse in his day. He lost a bit of form. Trained by James Crawford, ridden by Cabello Matsunyani. Good win for Winchester Mansion. This month, 30th of November, is Gauteng's premier race, or Gauteng's richest race, the Summer Cup, which will be run on the 30th of November this month. There's some cracking horses taking place in this lineup. A Grade 1 event. We've got a horse called See It Again, who's a fantastic horse trained by Michael Roberts, who is favourite for the race. We've got some wonderful horses running in this race. Horses like Dave the King, multiple Grade 1 winner. We've got a horse like Purple Pitcher, who is also Grade 1 winner. A horse like Main Defender. So it's going to be a top race. It'd be nice to see some crowds coming into Turfentine Racecourse on the 30th of November for the Summer Cup. It's going to be interesting. Guys, we've got some wonderful sport to look out for right through the month of November. There's rugby, there's cricket, there's football, horse racing, there'll be boxing, there'll be motor racing. So it's going to be wonderful again. This time of year for sport is always a very busy time. Hope you guys enjoy it. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll be updating you on some more sports news and more sports events as soon as possible. Thank you guys. Please like and subscribe. God bless.